Why do lovers betray? Why do men risk everything for a fleeting moment of passion? And why do women, who so often seek security, step into the dangerous territory of secret desire? Infidelity is not an accident of modern life. It is not born merely of boredom or temptation or moral weakness. It is older than cities, older than marriage, older than love songs whispered under candlelight. It is written in the blood of our ancestors. Picture a man, 10,000 years ago, standing in the shadows of a firelit camp. His mate sleeps, but his eyes wander. A younger woman laughs across the flames, her beauty signaling youth and fertility. For him, one night could mean another child, another chance at spreading his lineage. Now imagine a woman in that same tribe. Her partner, once strong, begins to falter. Another man, powerful and resource-rich, shows her kindness. One night with him could mean survival for her offspring. Infidelity, then, is not a flaw. It is a strategy, a dangerous, intoxicating, ancient strategy. Welcome to this circle, where we strip away illusions and expose the hidden laws of desire. Here, evolutionary psychology becomes revelation, the codes of attraction, betrayal, and love laid bare. If you are ready to master the forces that move us, forces older than morality itself, subscribe and step into this brotherhood and sisterhood of seekers. At the heart of human desire lies a paradox. Men and women want love, but they also want options. They crave loyalty, but also novelty. They pledge devotion, yet they feel the pull of forbidden temptation. David Buss, one of the founding fathers of evolutionary psychology, offers a brutal but liberating truth. Cheating is not random chaos, it is an evolved strategy. To understand why, we must step into the raw world of ancestral survival. For millions of years, humans lived not in cities or nations, but in small tribes where life was short, brutal, and uncertain. Every decision about mating could mean the difference between genetic extinction and survival. For men, the evolutionary equation was this. Their reproductive success depended on access to fertile women. A single act of infidelity could, in theory, produce another child, another chance at spreading their lineage. The cost? Minimal, biologically speaking. The risk of discovery or conflict was outweighed by the potential genetic gain. Thus, men evolved a powerful appetite for sexual variety. For women, the equation was different. A single night of passion could mean pregnancy, and raising a child alone without a partner's protection or resources could be deadly. Women evolved to be more selective, to prefer partners who could offer commitment, strength, and stability. Yet, here lies the twist. Women also evolved a secret strategy. While maintaining long-term bonds for security, some women sought affairs with men who carried superior genes, strength, dominance, health, charisma. The so-called dual mating strategy. Pair with the reliable man, but occasionally seek the desirable man. Infidelity, therefore, is not madness. It is adaptation. But here's the brutal truth. These evolved strategies clash violently with our modern promises of lifelong monogamy. The biology of desire is at war with the morality of society. Jealousy, too, is no accident. It is an evolved alarm system. A man who discovers his partner's infidelity risks raising another man's child. An evolutionary dead end. His jealousy burns not because he's insecure, but because his genes scream for survival. A woman who senses her partner's straying risks losing his resources, his devotion, his protection. Her emotional fury is not about insecurity, but because her ancestral memory knows abandonment could mean death. This is why cheating wounds so savagely. It is not merely betrayal of trust, it is betrayal of biology. It threatens the deepest survival instincts coded into us. And yet knowing this does not enslave us, it frees us.
Because once we see infidelity not as random evil, but as strategy, we gain the power to anticipate it, understand it, and master it. To master desire, you must first confront its ruthless origins. Act 1. The War of Strategies. Why men and women cheat differently. Imagine two hunters stalking prey in the ancient savanna. One hunts with speed, darting from opportunity to opportunity. The other stalks slowly, carefully, investing in a single kill that might feed the family for weeks. Both strategies can succeed, but they are different weapons in the same war for survival. This is the essence of sexual strategy. Men and women evolved under the same conditions of survival, but their reproductive stakes were not equal. For men, reproduction was potentially limitless. A man could father 10, 20, even hundreds of children if he had access to fertile women. From Genghis Khan to forgotten tribal chiefs, history is littered with examples of men whose legacy is measured not in deeds, but in descendants. For women, reproduction was costly. 9 months of pregnancy, years of nursing, a child that demanded relentless care. For her, the question was not how many partners, but which partner. And here lies the fracture point in modern relationships. Men cheat more often for sexual novelty, women cheat more often for emotional connection or for genetic advantage. The modern world calls this betrayal. Evolution calls it strategy. Act 2. The mate value equation. Status, beauty, and the hidden marketplace of desire. Every interaction in dating and relationships is influenced by something few dare to admit: mate value. It is the silent currency of attraction. For men, mate value often rises with status, resources, dominance, and ambition. For women, mate value is often tied to youth, beauty signals for fertility, and warmth. These are not shallow preferences, they are biological shortcuts to survival. Consider a man who rises in social status. His confidence grows, women notice him more, and opportunities for infidelity multiply. Consider a woman in her youthful prime. Men pursue her relentlessly, offering gifts, promises, and loyalty, yet some of them already have partners. Infidelity thrives at the edges of this marketplace. Men of high status are more likely to cheat, not because they are immoral, but because temptation surrounds them, amplified by biology. Women at peak mate value are more likely to attract secret advances, not because they seek betrayal, but because evolution equipped them with options. And the dark truth, mate value shifts. A man unemployed for years loses status, and his partner may feel the pull of other men. A woman past her fertile peak may fear her partner's wandering eye. What we call the midlife crisis is often the echo of evolutionary calculations. The cruel law of desire is this: we may love with our hearts, but our biology calculates with ruthless logic. Act 3. Jealousy, the fire that guards the heart. Jealousy is one of the most violent emotions known to man. It can drive lovers to madness, spark wars, and inspire both poetry and murder. But jealousy is not a weakness, it is weaponry. For men, jealousy evolved as a defense against paternity uncertainty. To raise another man's child is to waste precious years and resources on a genetic dead end. The mere thought of sexual betrayal triggers volcanic rage because the cost, in evolutionary terms, is catastrophic. For women, jealousy evolved as a defense against resource diversion. If her man strays, he may invest his time, energy, and protection in another woman and her children. Her emotional fury is not about insecurity, but about survival. This explains why men often fear sexual infidelity most, imagining her body with another man. And women often fear emotional infidelity most, imagining his heart and resources drifting elsewhere. Two different wounds, two different alarms, both ancient, both necessary. Modern relationships tell us jealousy is toxic, irrational, shameful. But the deeper truth is this: jealousy is not brokenness. It is the evolutionary guard dog of love. Without it, our ancestors would have been betrayed into extinction.
Act 4. Short-term desire versus long-term loyalty. The hidden trade-off. Life is a negotiation between the thrill of passion and the security of stability. Evolution designed us to want both. Short-term mating strategies favor risk, novelty, and excitement. They are about quick reproduction, new genes, intoxicating desire. Affairs often ignite here, in the reckless spark of short-term mating. Long-term mating strategies favor stability, protection, and shared investment. They are about raising children, building alliances, surviving winters together. Marriage was built on this foundation. But here is the paradox. The same brain can crave both. A man deeply in love with his wife can still feel the pull of sexual novelty when he encounters another woman. A woman committed to her husband can still feel her body react when in the presence of a dominant, high-status man. It is not hypocrisy. It is biology. Our modern vows of monogamy demand exclusivity. Our ancient genes whisper multiplicity. The tension between the two is the battlefield of modern relationships. Act 5. The hidden hand of competition. Why we signal, flaunt, and betray. Look closely at modern dating, and you will see the fingerprints of ancestral competition everywhere. Why do men flaunt cars, watches, or careers? Not because steel or leather carries meaning, but because they signal status, resources, protection. Why do women highlight beauty, youth, and physical form on social media? Not because makeup and filters are trivial, but because they amplify cues of fertility, health, and attractiveness. We are signaling to the marketplace. We are advertising mate value. And infidelity often arises not from dissatisfaction, but from competition. When someone of higher mate value enters the field, desire reawakens. When social media parades endless options before us, our ancient wiring interprets it as opportunity. Even betrayal itself can be a signal. Some men cheat to prove virility. Some women cheat to test their options or incite jealousy, forcing their partner to reinvest. What looks irrational is often strategy in disguise. Here is the cruelest truth. Infidelity may sometimes succeed as a strategy, but it leaves wreckage in its path. Men risk violence, disease, and loss of long-term partners. Women risk pregnancy without support, social shame, and abandonment. Yet the strategies persisted because in some cases they worked. They passed on genes. But we, in the modern world, are left with the fallout. Broken marriages, shattered trust, children caught in the storm. We inherited the strategies, but we live in a society that condemns their consequences. This is the primal tension that fuels endless debates about loyalty, temptation, and love. The revelation so far may feel brutal, that desire is not purely romantic, that loyalty fights against biology, that infidelity is not a moral glitch, but a survival strategy. Yet within this harsh light lies power. Because when you understand the forces shaping desire, you stop being their victim. You stop misinterpreting betrayal as random cruelty. You stop confusing jealousy with weakness. You gain clarity. Clarity to play the game with wisdom rather than blindness. So how do you master these forces? How do you rise above ancestral instincts without denying their reality. Here are 5 practical keys forged from evolutionary truth. 1. Increase your mate value relentlessly. Attraction is not built on luck. It is a marketplace of signals, and mate value is the silent currency. For men, this means status, ambition, strength, and confidence. Invest in your craft, your fitness, your financial independence. Women are not drawn to wealth itself. They are drawn to the competence and determination it signals. For women, this means youthful vitality, health, warmth, and intelligence. Beauty may open the door, but grace, loyalty, and emotional intelligence keep it open. Evolution favored women who could attract and retain strong partners, not just briefly spark desire. Mate value is not fixed. It can rise or fall depending on investment. In a world where options are endless, the highest mate value attracts and keeps commitment.
2. Recognize jealousy for what it is. Jealousy is not your enemy. It is an ancient alarm. But alarms can be either destructive or protective. When jealousy arises, don't let it consume you. Instead, ask, what is the threat my biology is detecting? Is my partner diverting resources, attention, or loyalty? Or is this my fear, inflamed by insecurity? Channel jealousy into awareness, not rage. Use it as a compass to adjust behavior, boundaries, and communication. A man who understands his jealousy protects his relationship without controlling his partner. A woman who understands hers secures devotion without suffocating love. 3. Guard against temptation with strategy, not naivety. Biology whispers variety, novelty, risk. Society whispers loyalty, monogamy, stability. The conflict is inevitable, but mastery lies in knowing your own vulnerabilities. If you're a man rising in status, know that temptation will increase. If you are a woman at peak attractiveness, know that advances will come. Don't pretend temptation does not exist. Build defenses. Practical defense means boundaries. It means environments that minimize risk. It means honesty with yourself about where you are weak and preemptive strength in those very places. 4. Understand the dual mating strategy. Especially for men seeking to understand women, never forget the dual strategy. Women evolved to balance security with attraction. This does not mean every woman will cheat, but it means every woman is wired to evaluate both stability and desirability. If you are only stable but not desirable, you risk being the safe choice she may eventually resent. If you are only exciting but not dependable, you risk being the fleeting thrill. The true master blends both, protector and seducer, provider and lover. 5. Build desire through scarcity and value. One of the cruelest truths of attraction is this: over-availability kills desire. Evolution rewards what is scarce, valuable, and not easily obtained. This does not mean playing childish games. It means embodying genuine self-respect. Invest in yourself. Pursue your goals. Maintain independence. A man or woman who radiates purpose becomes magnetically attractive. Dependence suffocates. Independence seduces. When you see attraction as strategy, you stop taking it personally. You stop drowning in heartbreak, thinking you were not enough. You realize desire is shaped by millions of years of selection pressures. And with that realization comes liberation. Infidelity is real. Temptation is real. But so is mastery. You cannot erase the strategies written in blood, but you can learn to navigate them with eyes wide open. Evolution gave us instincts. Awareness gives us choice. Love is not a fairy tale. It is a battlefield where biology and choice collide. Our ancestors shaped us with instincts of desire, jealousy, and betrayal. We are their descendants, carrying strategies carved in blood and bone. Men chase novelty because their genes whisper of countless offspring. Women weigh security and passion because survival demands it. But here lies the higher truth. Biology is not destiny. It is the starting point. Yes, we are wired by evolution, but we are also conscious beings, capable of reflection, discipline, and creation. To love wisely in the age of evolution means this: to recognize temptation but choose loyalty, to understand jealousy but refine it into strength, to build mate value, not through manipulation, but through growth, to see attraction for what it is, a primal force, yet to rise above it with intention. Infidelity may be ancient, but mastery is modern. In the end, the real power lies not in denying biology, but in transcending it, crafting relationships that honor desire without being enslaved by it. That is how we write love not as an accident of instincts, but as a conscious triumph over them. If this truth about desire and betrayal struck something deep within you, do not let it fade. Share your thoughts below, subscribe, and join this circle of seekers who refuse to be blind to human nature. Together, we uncover the hidden codes of attraction and master them. So love becomes not weakness, but power.